Some adventure bikes promise the ride of your dreams, yet all they really bring are breakdowns, recalls, and regret. From BMW's early R1200 GS models with self-destructing final drives to KTM's cam-devouring 790 seconds, and Ducati's V4 that empties your wallet faster than your fuel tank. These are the worst adventure bikes ever built. Before you spend a single dollar on what used to be called a reliable ADV, watch this list first, hit that subscribe button, tap like, and let's save you thousands in repair bills. Starting things off with number 10. The Kawasaki KLR 650, specifically the modern versions. The KLR 650 was once the cockroach of adventure motorcycles. Simple, rugged, and practically indestructible. But somewhere along the road, Kawasaki lost its way. The newer KLR models put on extra weight and added comfort features that completely killed what made the original so beloved. Now we're looking at a bike that's heavier and far more road-oriented than the old-school thumper that earned its legendary status. Sure, it's still mechanically straightforward, and the infamous doohickey problem has long known fixes. But the geometry changed, the weight balance shifted, and what once sliced through trails like a scalpel now handles more like a staggering elephant. To be fair, reliability is still one of its stronger points compared to complex modern adventure machines. Maintenance costs stay in the hundreds rather than the thousands, spare parts are easy to find, and nearly any backyard mechanic can wrench on it. However, if you're after true off-road performance, you're looking in the wrong direction. The modern KLR is trapped between two worlds, too heavy for real dirt riding and too basic for serious touring. It's the motorcycle version of ordering a salad at a steakhouse. Not technically wrong, just completely missing the point. And coming up next is a bike that's missing something even more crucial. Number 9. Kawasaki Versys X300. Picture this. You're fully loaded with luggage, climbing a mountain pass, and your 296 cc engine is gasping for breath like a fish out of water. That's the Kawasaki Versys X300 experience in a nutshell. This little adventure bike certainly looks the part. Tall stance, off-road styling, and decent ground clearance. But when it's time to do real adventure bike stuff, like hauling luggage at highway speeds, it quickly waves the white flag. That 296 cc motor is fine for city cruising. But once you hit open highways with gear or a passenger, it starts struggling almost immediately. It's not an unreliable machine by any means. The Versys X is mechanically solid. But reliability doesn't help when you can't keep up with traffic or climb mountain passes without losing power. The good news? It's affordable, sitting around $5,000 new, with cheap insurance and simple maintenance. But those perks don't mean much when you're doing 55 miles per hour in a 75 zone, and trucks are breathing down your neck. As a commuter or light touring bike, the Versys X300 does the job. But for serious adventures, you'll outgrow it faster than your first riding jacket. It's not broken, it's just not built for the role it tries to play. Number 8. Yamaha Tenere 700 Early Models. Now we move to the Yamaha Tenere 700. On paper, it should be flawless. Yamaha's legendary CP2 engine, an adventure-ready chassis, and a reasonable price tag. So what could possibly go wrong? Well, start with the rear brakes that feel more like a suggestion than an actual braking command. Early Tenere 700 seconds had vague, weak rear brake feedback that was borderline terrifying when you needed to stop fast. Then comes the exhaust mount issue. The stock exhaust brackets were sometimes too weak and could bend, risking damage to the swing arm. Not catastrophic, but definitely the kind of design flaw that makes you wonder what the engineers were thinking. Thankfully, both problems can be fixed. Aftermarket rear brake master cylinders, like the Camel ADV upgrade, can solve the braking feel issue for around $200 to $600, while stronger exhaust mounts cost anywhere between $50 and $300. Yamaha eventually improved later models and corrected these problems, but those early T7s serve as reminders that even top manufacturers can overlook the obvious. The Tenere 700 is still an amazing bike overall, thanks to that bulletproof CP2 motor, but those first versions lost a few points for reliability hiccups that shouldn't have existed in the first places. Number 7. Benelli TRK 502 times. Ever seen a bike that looks ready for adventure but rides like it's towing a refrigerator? That's the Benelli TRK 502 times in a nutshell. This machine carries way too much weight for its engine size, making it sluggish and underpowered, Its 500 cc's parallel twin feels like it's constantly pulling a trailer. The suspension doesn't help either. The soft budget stock setup bottoms out on anything rougher than a speed bump. Build quality is hit or miss, with reliability complaints scattered across forums, and parts availability is another nightmare. Benelli's dealership network is thinner than the air at base camp, which means parts and support can take forever depending on where you live. Maintenance costs are higher than what you'd pay for a mainstream brand, and while the TRK 502 times looks serious with its aggressive styling and ground clearance, performance falls flat. You'll likely need to invest another $400 to $1,500 just to make the suspension usable. Sure, it's cheaper than its rivals, but you get what you pay for. Before buying, always check your local dealer's support and parts situation because you'll need both. Number 6. Suzuki V-Strom 1000, early DL 1000. The Suzuki V-Strom 1000 should have been a home run, a big V-twin engine, a proven platform, and Suzuki's reputation for reliability. But early DL 1000s turned out to be ticking time bombs. The biggest culprit? The charging system. The regulator rectifier fails more often than a politician's promise. Add in the stator and rotor magnet issues, and you're looking at serious electrical problems within the first 5 to 10 years, or sooner with heavy use. When the charging system fails, expect repair bills between $300 and $900, depending on the damage. On top of that, the fueling is awful. Snatchy, jerky throttle response at low RPMs that makes smooth riding nearly impossible. These aren't minor annoyances, they're core mechanical issues. Many owners ended up replacing the stator and regulator as routine maintenance items. The later V-Stroms corrected most of these flaws, but the early ones are still electrical nightmares waiting to happen. Sure, parts are available and fixes are documented, but who wants to buy someone else's problem bike? Number 5. Triumph Tiger 800XE, 2010 to 2014. The early Triumph Tiger 800XE was supposed to be the perfect mid-size. It came with stepper motor and an air control issue. The stepper motor failures caused stalling, hot start issues, and erratic idling. You'd pull into a gas station, shut it off, and then cross your fingers hoping it would start again. These problems were so widespread that many early owners became experts at cleaning stepper motors, just to keep their bikes running. Replacements or repairs can cost anywhere from $100 to $600, not counting diagnostics. Triumph did issue recalls and service bulletins, and there are community fixes out there, but the damage to its reputation was done. The triple-cylinder engine itself is great, powerful and full of character, but when the bike refuses to idle, all that character means nothing. Later models sorted out the issue, but those early Tigers remain a reminder of how one small component can ruin an otherwise fantastic motorcycle. Number 4. Triumph Tiger Explorer 1200 early models. The Triumph Tiger Explorer 1200 was designed to compete with BMW's R1200Gs, but it ended up showing how not to build a shaft drive system. Early Explorers suffered from shaft and final drive failures or misalignments, sometimes as early as 10,000 miles. When the shaft went, it often went out in a blaze of metallic carnage, grinding noises, metal shavings, and sometimes total failure. Quality control was questionable. Some bikes left the factory with alignment problems, others developed rust or corrosion even after warranty repairs. Replacing the drive shaft or final drive can cost $1,000 to $3,000, depending on how bad the damage is. Always inspect the drive shaft before buying, test it under load, listen for popping or grinding, and check the service records for repeated repairs. If you see that, walk away. Later Explorers got better, but those early models are proof that even premium brands can completely miss the mark when it comes to basic engineering. Number 3. KTM 790, 890, Adventure 2018 to 2020. Here's where things get truly ugly. The KTM 790 and 890 Adventure were supposed to be the ultimate performance ADV bikes. Light, powerful, and capable. Instead, early models had premature camshaft and valve train wear that could destroy the engine's top end. Cam lobes wore out, finger followers failed, and oil feed issues led to power loss, rattling, and even head damage. Some bikes showed these symptoms as early as 10,000 miles. KTM's warranty responses were inconsistent. Some riders got repairs covered, others were told they hadn't maintained their bikes properly. Full engine repairs could run $2,000 to $4,000, depending on severity. If you're considering one, make sure it has documented warranty work or updated parts. Later models fixed the issue, but those early 790 seconds and 890 seconds are mechanical landmines with orange plastics. When it's running right, the LC8C engine is amazing, but with potential top-end failure lurking, it's an expensive gamble. Number 2. Ducati Multistrada V4 Early 2021 models. The Ducati Multistrada V4 was marketed as the ultimate sport touring adventure bike, but early 2021 units suffered from a serious valve guide defect that could lead to catastrophic engine failure. Ducati had to issue an official recall, replacing entire engines on affected VINs due to premature valve guide wear from one supplier. If your bike wasn't covered under the recall, repairs could easily exceed $2,000 to $5,000. That's why checking the VIN and ensuring the recall work was completed is absolutely non-negotiable before buying when it's running properly. The V4 engine is spectacular, smooth, powerful, and refined, but with the threat of total engine failure hanging over your head, that refinement quickly loses meaning. Ducati handled the recall well, but the confidence damage was done. Nobody wants a $25,000 motorcycle that might need a new engine. Number 1. BMW R1200 GS 2004 to 2007. And finally, the crown goes to the BMW R1200Gs from 2004 to 2007. The worst adventure bike ever built. This bike was supposed to be the ultimate do-it-all machine, but instead it became infamous for catastrophic engineering flaws. The final drive failures are legendary: oil leaks, bearing wear, and total breakdowns often occurring between 25,000 and 40,000 miles. When they fail, it's not subtle. Grinding noises, metal flakes, and repair bills from $700 to $3,000 or more. Add to that BMW's servo-assisted braking system, which turned maintenance into a nightmare and repairs into 4-digit bills. Then you've got the electrical gremlins, sensors, wiring, and mysterious faults that strand you miles from anywhere. Parts are expensive and sometimes hard to find, while dealer labor costs are sky high. Always inspect for final drive leaks, and look for proof of rebuilds before buying one of these early models. The R1200Gs was supposed to conquer the world, but instead it conquered wallets. BMW did fix these issues in later versions, but those 2004 to 2007 bikes remain cautionary tales of how over-engineering can destroy reliability. When your final drive explodes at 30,000 miles and your ABS fails at a gas station, that's not adventure. That's financial disaster on 2 wheels. And there it is, the 10 worst adventure bikes ever made, from BMW's 3,000 final drive fiascos to KTM's $4,000 camshaft disasters. These motorcycles prove that reputation doesn't always equal reliability. Do your homework, check VINs, and always get a pre-purchase inspection from someone who knows these machines inside out. If this video saved you from a costly mistake, don't forget to subscribe, drop a like, and share your own stories if you've survived owning one of these nightmares. Still got some gas left? Click the next video right here and keep the adventure going.